And it's fascinating. You're talking about light entering our infrared spectrum that's being emitted from our body to then, start engaging with the nervous system. I've in the last week started to understand polarization of light and its impact on water, creating electricity through crystal. So we have crystals in our red blood cells, and it's creating this electricity. And it brought me to understand a little bit more in terms of our Lifewave patches, the polarization, where David Schmidt has got 2 patches. Am I correct in understanding that he's creating 2 different maybe angles of light that's causing the polarization?
I believe so. I believe that's the way that, don't quote me on that, but I believe he is working with different phase angles to create certain light.
Yeah.
On certain points. It's absolutely brilliant.
Exactly. So that's what I thought. It's like the brilliance. This is built into us. Mother Nature built it into us, so we're able to convert that solar light. But using those concepts, which Robert O'Becker discovered back in 1972, in terms of polarization of light and how he's just taken it to the next level. Can you share a little bit with us about your time in the lab, working and getting to know David Schmidt and working with these patches? Can you give us any insights?
Well, one of the things that I did, because I was overseeing clinical trials for big pharmaceutical companies, I was trained on how to audit clinics to make sure they were up to FDA standards. So one of the things that David had hired me to do was to go through and create the standard operating procedures for privacy, confidentiality, informed consent, those types of things, so that he's following all of those rules. And then I also was able to go through all of the research papers that he had done, to be able to see some of the outcomes. And I was, pretty blown away with what I was seeing, and definitely wanted to try the patches. And so when I did try the patches, that I definitely knew that they worked. I was telling you earlier about some of the detox patches that I used, and I, while I'm detoxing, I had to pull the patches off the bottom of my foot to finally stop. And I was like, wow, these things are incredibly powerful. But yeah, I think that, seeing more and more of the research that he had done, because I was able to see kind of the compilation, I was blown away by what he had done. And this was, over 15 years ago. This was 2009, 10, 11, somewhere in there, that I was seeing more and more about the research that he was doing. And I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah. Well,
I don't get paid. I don't sell them. I don't get paid for saying this. This is just me personally and working with David. And the patches that he's created, I think he's an amazing human being, and what he's created is absolutely mind blowing. And I love, his love for Tesla as well, because he and I have a common love for Nikola Tesla, so we kind of bonded on that. But absolutely amazing company. I've loved, what little interaction. I mean, once I finished that project, I moved on, but I didn't mind how amazing the products are.